What is sorting? Sorting means arranging the elements of an array in a particular order. It is either in ascending order or descending order. A sorting algorithm helps us to make the array in a sorted order. There are so many sorting algorithms like bubble sort, selection sort, merge sort, quick sort, like that. Bubble sort technique is the easiest sorting technique, and writing program is also very easy. I was really wondering why it is called bubble sort. What is a bubble? Generally, we see bubbles in water bottles like that, right? So when we tap that bottle, what happens is big bubbles they come up first, then followed by average sized bubbles, then small sized bubbles. So here also in bubble sort, what happens is in the first iteration, the biggest element moves to the last position and then the next biggest element. Like that, at the end of n minus 1 iterations, the array will be sorted. Now I will show you a small video where you can see how these big bubbles they come up first.
See, these are bubbles in a water bottle. Let me knock it. Now let us see how this bubble sort works. We start with the first element and we compare the first element with the next element. So there are two cases. If the first element is greater than the next element, then we need to swap them. Or else, if the first element is less than the second element or the next element, we need not do anything because they are already in order. We need to repeat the step 1, 2, 3 for the next elements until we reach the end of the array. Now we start with the first element, which is 23 a of 0. Now we compare this 23 with 33. Now 23 is not greater than 33, so we need not swap them. 23 is less than 33, so don't swap because they are already in order. Now we need to repeat the step 1 with the next two elements, which are a of 1 and a of 2, that is 33 and 14. Now 33 is greater than 14, so what we need to do? We need to swap 33 and 14. So now the array becomes like this. Then we compare the next two elements, 33 and 83. 33 is less than 83. We need not swap these two elements. We keep them as they are because they are already in order. Now finally we compare 83 and 55. Is a of 3 and a of 4. Since 83 is greater than 55, we need to swap these two elements. Now the array becomes like this. So we have completed the first iteration. Now what is our observation? After completing the first iteration, we can say that biggest element is moved to the last position, is a of 4. You remember the big bubble is up first. So 83 sits in the last position. So from now onwards, the next iteration or next pass, we need not consider 83 because 83 is already in the last position. Now we need to process the first four elements, a of 0, a of 1, a of 2 and a of 3. Then we follow the same process. Step 1, compare A of 0 and A of 1, 23 and 14. Since 23 is greater than 14, we should exchange them or we should swap them. Here we are using the word exchange. So bubble sort is also called as exchange sort. Next we compare 23 and 33. Since 23 is less than 33, there is no exchange. We need not swap the elements. Next we compare A of 2 and A of 3. 33 and 55. They are also in order. So we need not swap them. Now pass 2 is over. Iteration 2 is over. The first iteration, the biggest element moved to the last position. The second iteration, next biggest element, which is 55, moved to the last but one position. Now in pass 3, we need to consider the first three elements 14, 23 and 33. Now we compare 14 and 23. 14 is less than 23, so don't swap. Next 23 and 33. 23 is less than 33, we need not swap. So pass 3 is over and pass 4 or iteration 4. Again we compare the first two elements 14 and 23. 14 is less than 23, so we need not swap the elements. So pass 4 is also over. So the final observation is for a 5 element array, 4 passes are enough. For n element array, minus 1 passes are enough. For example, if the array size is 6, we need 5 iterations. If the array size is 10, we need 9 iterations. Now let us try to understand the code. Here when we write code to bubble sort, we use two loops. For loops we use here in this code. The first for loop, which is called the outer for loop, is used for number of iterations. Just now I told you, if the size of the array is n, we need n minus 1 iterations. And the second loop is to compare the elements. This is the code of bubble sort, which is very easy to understand. Outer loop, the inner loop. Two for loops I wrote, and the outer loop is for number of iterations. Now let us try to understand this. For I equal to 0, I less than n minus 1, I plus plus. Here we are writing n minus 1. If n is equal to 5, then n minus 1 is 4. Now the above loop becomes for I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. And the possible values of I are 0, 1, 2, and 3. So number of passes only 4 because we are taking n equal to 5. Next, in the inner for loop, here we are writing for j equal to 0, j is less than n minus I minus 1. See here, n minus I minus 1. Every time we are decreasing set of elements we need to compare. For example, in the first pass, we took all the 5 elements as a set. In the second pass, we left the last element and the first 4 elements as a set we took. So similarly, here also for j equal to 0, j less than 4 and j plus plus, all the possible values of j are 0, 1, 2 and 3. Then for example, in the first pass, what happens is I equal to 0 and n equal to 5. Then in the second pass, the above loop becomes equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. So in the second pass, the possible values of j are 0, 1 and 2. In the third pass, the possible values of j are only 0 and 1. So we are comparing only the first element and the second element, that is a of 0 and a of 1 plus a of 2 also. Then in the last pass, we will compare the first two elements, which are a of 0 and a of 1. Now exchange. Just now I told you bubble sort is also called as exchange sort. Here a of j and a of j plus 1, both values are exchanged. To do this, we took a temporary variable which is called temp. Then there are three steps we need to follow to exchange the values. First, a of j value is stored in temp. Then a of j plus 1 is stored in a of j. And finally, this temp value is stored in a of j plus 1. So this is bubble sort. Take one array and try to do yourself. Just trace the program. You can get the answer. Thank you. God bless you.